Destiny, I know you got to wipe your tears a little bit right there. I know you're shedding a tear. But how proud are you to be an American? I know that you're very opinionated on this. You got a lot of thoughts, politically speaking. Where do you stand on all this? Or is this upsetting when you see these stats?
On it.
Okay.
I think why. I like a criminal justice system. I think we're afforded a lot of rights and protections that even a lot of Western European countries aren't, especially when it comes to things like freedom of speech. I appreciate that. But I think that when it comes to like, older generations, history is not enough. If you talk to a Gen Zer and you ask them, like, what is the history of America for you? It's the Iraq War, the Afghanistan occupation, and then it's whatever the fuck has been going on for the past 10 years in our political system where we've been more divided than ever. And I understand that if we do comparisons to the worst parts of Brazil or Central or South America, then we can say, oh, cool, like America's, better than those places. But when you think of like countries that we should be trying to be better than, places like France, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, the UK, like something doesn't seem to be working where we pay a lot of taxes, we've got a huge country, we have all this potential, but like our cities are falling apart, we lead the world in incarcerated citizens, we've got school shootings going on, we've got a lot of homeless people. Like what's happening? We have no services anywhere. We don't have buses, we don't have subways, our housing is like a disaster. I'm sympathetic. If a Gen Zer says like, oh, like I don't like my country, like, yeah, I mean, I feel that. Like, I don't know where the big like pride comes from. Like, is it in the military spending? Is it in events that happened, landing on the moon in '69? Do you feel good about that as an American citizen? Like, if you're born here and you've been here and you're not like an ultra wealthy person, I think that we need to do a better job at like asking the question, like, what does America have to offer for you? Because in Western Europe, it's free education. It's a way to get to and from any place you want at any time of the day with public transport. It's access to healthcare without being, financially crippled if you get an accident. I don't know what the answer is for younger people in the United States right now with regards to that.
So and I appreciate what you're saying right there. That seems to be almost like a glass half empty response. I'm not saying that's your response, but you're basically advocating for what younger Americans say. But you could also say so many good things about America.
No, but the reason why you can't anymore is because everything's become so politically partisan that even on the good things, we can't take credit for it anymore. I don't know where everyone is political here, but in my opinion, I think that the mRNA vaccines, hopefully, historically, that is going to be like heralded as like an amazing accomplishment of U.S. innovation and capitalism, of worldwide capital investment, of scientific knowledge, engineering, of our history of public investment education. That was an amazing invention. But like half the people think that mRNA vaccines are Bill Gates trying to inject like microchips in you. So that in my opinion, that's like our modern day version of the moon landing. That was like a vaccine from nothing to marketed in like 10 months or something.
Operation Warp Speed. But there's a lot of problems with the vaccines. You've seen some of this stuff.
There are a lot of problems with our push to go to the moon. I
also think the only reason the vaccines came so quickly is because of the capitalistic structure.
I agree, 100%. It wasn't Russia, it wasn't China, it was the United States. But we can't even take credit for that because like we fucking hate each other. And it's
that's just because everything's so politically polarized in this country and everyone's living in an echo chamber and just want to spout out
I'm curious for you, because you're the big America guy. Over the past like 10 or 15 years, what are some American things where you're like, that's a thing that I think is really cool that America did?
So I'm not even going to go macro geopolitical perspective. I'm just going to go my life.
No, don't you? Not your life.
Because
I want to know. No, because at Gen Z, it doesn't care about your life. What can we be proud of as Americans for America?
Well,
like the moon landing.
I'll give you. Okay, so I'll give you my life, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sure.
You're talking to a kid when he was 25 years old. I was doing stand-up comedy. I was broke as fuck. I was living on my buddy's couch. At 26, I said, I am sick of being broke. And what I did was I said, all right, America gives me an opportunity to do whatever I want to do. Now it's on me to wake my ass up, to get to a job and work. It's on me. The government's not coming to save you like they do in a lot of these other countries, these socialist countries where basically you pay 50% in taxes and you get free healthcare. Whoop-de-doo.
I just came from California. I paid like, what, 40% in taxes?
Insane, exactly.
I didn't get anything for it though.
Well, you get the view of California. But for me, I said, let me put in the work now. I got a job as a cold caller for a financial firm, busted my ass for years, And then by the time I'm 35, I went from having $0 in my bank account to having $1 million in my bank account.
You know,
that doesn't happen anywhere else in
you
the
think they
world
don't-
other than America.
You don't think they have stand-up comics in Australia? You don't think they have stand-up comics in the UK?
No, yeah, they have
Jim
broke stand-up
Jeffries
comics.
No,
Yeah,
it's
of
not
course they
broke
do.
stand-up comics. A lot of the
Yeah.
actors that we get come from the UK.
You're missing my point, though, Destiny. I
What
got
is the
out of
point?
stand-up comedy and got into the financial world.
And you
Because
can't
the
do that
joke-
in Europe? There was no financial sector in Europe to be a
How
part
many
of?
do you? Okay, if you go on the top 100 richest people in the world, go top 20. What percentage do you think are from the United States?
Probably quite a bit, but most
75%.
Most people aren't the top 100 wealthy people in the world.
But
And
they
that's the
can
problem.
be.
No,
They're not going to get there with this victim mentality that I hate this country. It sucks. It's so bad
you know
for me.
how many people?
How much
here's a question.
opportunities
Here's
you
a-
have in America is
here's a-
incredible.
Here's a math question: how many people can be in the top 100 wealthiest people in the world?
Yeah, 100 out of 8 billion, exactly.
No, 100
Yeah,
people
exactly.
can be the. So when you look at a Gen Zer and they're comparing their average life to somebody in like Germany or France or the Netherlands, like, is that your pitch to them? Like, bro,
But
you
you
could
don't-
be a billionaire.
So
Like,
my pitch to those young people is you don't need to be the top 100 richest people in the world. You don't need to be the top 100 best people, richest people in your city. Just be better than you were the day before.
You can
and
do
then
that
the
in
next
every other
day,
country in the
be
world.
better. No, you can't. America has so many opportunities. This is why her family came from El Salvador, her family came from Brazil, her family came from Israel.
My family's
This is
still
why
in
your
Israel.
family
They're
escaped
still there.
communist Cuba.
because
It's-
America was the closest country.
Okay.
You think they're gonna
No.
swim from Cuba to fucking the United Kingdom?
You could go.
No,
they
but
can go
they
to
don't even
Colombia.
swim.
They can
They'll
go to
go
Mexico. They
to
can go to
Mexico.
The
Haiti.
United States has
They-
like one of
they
the
risk
worst
their
immigration
lives.
processes of all these fucking
Okay,
countries.
why
how
don't
about
they
this?
go
How about
anywhere
this?
else?
Okay, we say this all the time on
It's
PBD.
not like Syrian refugees all came to the
I'm
United
going to
States.
ask you
They
a
went to the
question.
closest countries,
Since
right?
you're so politically
Sure, inclined.
informed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying that sarcastically. You are. We say this all the time on PBD podcast. So I'm going to go round table. If you know the answer, don't say it.
Okay.
How do you judge a good restaurant? How do you judge a good nightclub?
The bathroom.
How do you judge it? The what?
The bathroom.
The bathroom. Okay. How do you judge a good restaurant?
I would say just how the management is handling the employees.
Okay, the management. How would you judge
I look at the reviews.
the reviews?
I
Okay,
look at
good
the
reviews. How would you judge a good restaurant?
Probably word of mouth.
Word of mouth. What would you say if it was the wait in line to get in? So if you go to a restaurant and there's nobody there, nobody in line trying to get in, you're like, oh, this place fucking probably sucks. But if you go to your favorite restaurant or go to a restaurant and it's like, hey, how much, how long for a seat? They're like, yeah, the wait's like 2 hours. You're like, what? They're like, yeah, like the place is packed. Everyone's waiting to get in. There's a 2-hour wait. You're like, holy shit. Now, what do? Most people, they're hungry. They go, yeah, I'm just going to go to the restaurant down the street. But some people, when it's life or death, say, I'm fucking waiting in line for 2 hours. So these caravans that are coming from Central America, they're not going south, baby. They're going north to United States. Okay? Cubans aren't leaving Miami to swim back to Cuba. They're leaving
Are
Cuba
they coming to the
come to United States.
Are they coming to the United States because it's the best country in the world to go to, or because it's the closest one they get to on ground?
They,
Do you think
I
the
think-
caravans
I
are
think
gonna
it's 'cause it's a free
go up to
country.
Alaska, go over to Russia? Do
well
you think they
played,
can't-
sir. Well played, sir. But how many people from Europe, from Middle East, from Africa are dying to come to America? Nobody's
From
trying to
Europe?
get.
Hold on.
Nobody's-
Western Europe, Germans and French people aren't like, God, I wish I could make it to the United States.
Oh,
they
you
come
have
here and they make fun
no
of the
idea how many
I'm
come and
literally
don't
married
want to
to a
leave.
fucking Swede, and we've gone through the 5-year fucking process. Do you think that there's a reason why when these people all come over, they're not voting for conservatives, they're voting for Democrats to make it look more like fucking Europe? Do you think people are coming over from Norway?
That
and be
might
like,
be
I'm
the
a big
problem
Trump
with the
supporter?
country, though.
No, that's not a problem with the
You're
country.
trying. That's like you leave California because you don't like the policies. You come to Florida and vote for the same motherfuckers that the reason you left California. But my point is this.
Can,
Yeah.
wait, can
The
I
way
just-
that you judge a restaurant, the way that you judge a country are by the lines of people trying
I'm
to
going
come
to
in.
your taco shop
How
tonight.
many
There better
people-
be a big line out there,
Yes.
or I'm going to take a picture.
You were there the other night, Destiny. There was a fucking line. Way to sneak you in the back
They were all
door.
served. They were all served. I don't know.
Way
Okay.
to sneak you in the back door. You know it. So the point is this: there's a huge line of people trying to come to America. How many people are trying to go into Russia, to China, to certain African countries? I don't even know how many people are trying to get into Sweden these days. That's my opinion. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to add that, like, you keep saying, like, Germany and Sweden, like, they might be good for specific reasons, but just from the perspective of, like, a Jewish person, I would never feel safe there, and neither would any of my family or any other Jewish or Israeli person that I've ever met would never feel safe there. Anyone who travels there hides the fact that they're Jewish. So that's one plus 1 point towards America. And then your question about, what has America done well in the past 15 years? I would say absolutely nothing. The core values of America are for me why it's worth it. In the same way that I'm Israeli, I moved here 4 years ago, and I love my country with all my heart, but I still look at my country and I think like, God damn it, like get your shit together. I feel the same way about America. And it makes me sad that Gen Z is depressed. And I know that they're depressed, even though they have no problems compared to the rest of the world, compared to the people that are in war-torn countries. But pain is relative, and they're suffering because they have no values. And you can see that. What did this topic begin with? How values are declining. So I will say, we need to protect America because its values of freedom, and.
I think you bring up a really good point.
Yeah.
I'll say this: if I woke up every day and all I thought was I went on social media, all these girls are so much prettier than me as a girl, or all these guys have so much money, more money than me as a guy. All you do is you see school shootings. It's disgusting. I'll never fucking, make that a cornerstone of why I love America. That's a major problem that we need to figure out. If all you do is see the news and the divisiveness, it's very easy to basically go down the negative rabbit hole of why America sucks. But most people I know wake up in an air-conditioned home, have food on the table, have their phone, have their family, have their friends. They go to school. They live a great life. They don't have to worry about getting killed just, like you do in El Salvador and Brazil. Or if you're...
Why do you compare to fucking...
Well, I'm just saying, these are where the people are from. Or in
El
Israel.
Salvador's
I've been in
getting
Israel. I'm at a
yes.
cafe in Israel, and Israel is an amazing,
American
safe
citizens are way
place.
better than Haiti citizens are. Like, we don't have...
I've been in Israel, and I'm sitting at a cafe. Lovely area. Middle of Tel Aviv. Gorgeous area. Next thing you know, sirens are going off because bombs are happening.
That's just your initiation.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a joke because she's so fucking used to it. We don't have to worry about getting bombed here in America. We got the
But to
Pacific
be
Ocean
fair-
on the left. We got the
There's
Atlantic
gotta be a
Ocean on the
better
right.
answer than that.
We're not getting.
I'm not getting bombed in Israel, and I'm not in the roughest places in Central and South America.
Well, can I
But
answer
that's where
that,
the
though?
people on the panel are from, Destiny.
But let me
Go ahead,
answer that.
Rebecca.
That Israel has the same values as America. Israel is America's ally in the Middle East, and the reason that I laugh at the sirens is because we have the Iron Dome that intercepts 95% of the rockets that
That's
are sent over the border.
funded by America.
That's funded.
Thank you, Benjamin
as well.
Netanyahu.
So
And let me
I-
say one thing about Israel, by the way, just a quick interlude.
Okay.
Do you know how many countries in the Middle East are considered free? There's how many countries in the Middle East? 25 countries?
Free
Go down,
for-
Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Jordan, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia,
Yemen,
Oman,
Afghanistan.
Lebanon, Syria, the list goes on. How many countries, by the economic study, socioeconomic, how many countries do you think in the Middle East are considered free? The answer is one.
Yeah. So I'm
The
just
country
saying
of
we're-
Israel.
America's-
Only one
How
country.
do you even Okay, without getting
Pull
into
up
all
any stat. There's 4 countries that are considered
free for who?
Partly free.
Because the Palestinians over there would probably disagree.
20%.
That's
excuse
true.
me,
Well, they're not free.
Excuse me. 20% of Israeli citizens are Arab citizens
Correct.
who are from Palestinian origins, who have every single right that Israelis have, except for one, which is to serve in the military, which they can choose to do so willingly.
Sure, and I'm not going to sit here and shit on Israel. I'm a tepid supporter of
You
Israel.
don't have to be a
but I'm
supporter of
just
Israel
saying
or
that-
Palestine. It's not one against the other.
Well, it kind of is. But I'm just saying
It's
that, like, if you
not.
were to
It's
take
people
the
who
totality of the
say
people,
that are contributing to the problem.
well, there are way more Palestinians than there are Israeli citizens, right?
No. What? Oh,
There are way
okay.
more people live. There are
The
more
reason
Arabs in that land than there are Jewish
Arabs,
people.
yes.
right?
Palestinians,
No,
no.
so the reason that there are more Palestinians is because the refugee status is inherited. So there used to be 850,000 Palestinian refugees, and today there's something like 7 million.
No, I'm not talking about refugees that live in. I'm talking about when you take into account the people that live in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. The whole push for making like a one-state or two-state solution.
There
right?
are more Israeli citizens, if that's your question.
Anyway, we're not going to go down. We're not going to solve the Israeli two-state solution right now on this show.
The idea
That's
of
not what
saying
we're
that
doing.
like this is the freest place on the planet, that's probably true if you take into account people that just live in Israel and have the rights protected by Israel.
In
but
the
obviously
Middle East,
sure.
there's 4 countries that are partly free. I want to say it's Jordan, Kuwait.
How are you measuring these
You-
freedoms too?
You think this is my fucking opinion? There's
I don't know.
stats
I'm
on
Freedom of
this.
curious.
speech,
There's
freedom
stats
of
on this.
speech, freedom
Every
to
other-
vote, freedom to vote for a new government.
It's individual expression, internet access, social freedoms, and the ability to vote. That's how you measure freedom.
I'm saying American values, which, and I extend that to Israeli values, are values that we should be protecting. And when I see people basically cheering for the values of dictatorships and socialist governments, it bothers me. And I understand. I have no problem with democratic values. I would consider myself to be a classical liberal, but like, we're taking it to a point where it's no longer like we want to make America better. We want to turn America into something else.
Let's move on to the next topic because this might be to your point.
Well, I'm just
quick.
curious. Can you answer that one question though? In the past 15, 20 years, what has America done that like a Gen Zer should be proud of?
What has America done? Okay, wealth across the world, because of America's leadership, wealth inequality has plummeted. Like nobody's dying of starvation anymore. Famines don't exist anymore. Okay, if you look at from a global statistic standpoint, the world is getting better and better and better and better.
Yeah, but I'm saying America. What is America?
Because America is the leader of the world. A lot of these countries, through our soft power, are better because of America's influence. And if America fails to lead, you know who starts leading? China, Russia, Iran. So America's leadership, okay, has a global effect. So yes, you can't point out all the negatives that's happened in America right now, because the last 20 years, quite frankly, have fucking
I don't want to point
sucked.
out, I'm just saying that if I'm talking to a Gen Zer, and my son is a Gen Zer, right? And if he were to ask me, why should I be proud of this country? And my answer is, well, globally, inequality has fallen and less people are hungry in Africa because of America's leadership. That's a lame as fuck answer. It might be true, and that's a good thing, but like, I don't know, does it really get the blood pumping, you know? Like we won World War II, or we
It's a free
landed,
country. That's
right?
it. It's a free country.
There's a lot of free countries around the world. America's not
Why are
unique in
you
that
raising
sense.
your kid in America? You can move back to Cuba.
Because I was
you
born
can take
here.
your kid anywhere.
I'm obviously not moving to fucking Cuba.
Okay.
Why not Sweden?
I think I like America because I think America's the best country for rich people. That's why I like America, and I'm rich. But I don't think that connects with the average Gen Zer.
Because the
Yeah,
average
you
Gen Zer
take
isn't
the
working
poorest
hard.
person in America, bring them to the favelas of Brazil, or bring them to El Salvador. They'll be like, holy shit, I'm rich.
What about homeless in America compared to people in like France or people in Italy or Portugal or even fucking Greece? Like, why am I comparing them to South American countries for people that aren't in the same OECD index as we are? For people that don't rank next to us?
Because that's where these people are from. I'm just kidding.
Are we just? Well, so the question is, should you love America or should you love America compared to the roughest parts of?
What country do you love more than America?
I don't know if I would say I love a country more than America. I'm just saying
you
that
like Europe more than America.
No, fuck Europe and fuck Europeans. Okay. What I'm saying is that
So
like,
name a country, Destiny.
here's what I'm saying.
He wants
Okay.
to live on another planet.
When I lived in
Destiny
California,
wants to live in the metaverse.
when I lived in California or when I live in Florida,
Yeah.
okay, California's a better example because holy fuck the taxes. When I get taxed every day, I don't know what the fuck my money is going towards. My streets suck. My housing is expensive as fuck. If I get sick, I've got to pay out. You could probably still bankrupt me if I get enough cancer. Okay, if like all of these things, I have no. Everything is fucked, and I don't know where my money is going towards.
Yeah, but you
right?
have the ability to get the fuck out of California, come to Florida.
Even in Florida, but we still, even for federal taxes, if I'm paying, we'll say 50% taxes in some European country, my school is paid for, my kid doesn't have to worry about getting a fucking,
yeah, but
some
they're
kind of
paying
scholarship.
50% taxes. In Canada, that's the case. You're paying
Bro,
all of those taxes at the end of the day.
bottom 50% earners in the United States don't even have like federal tax income liability.
I would not trust the United States to
bottom-
educate my child. I would
The
never
top
trust.
1% of this country pay more in taxes than the entire bottom 50%
The
of this
top
country.
1% of this country probably earn 10 times more than the bottom 50% of this
Because
country.
they work their ass off.
No bullshit. What
And
do
they
you mean?
innovate.
It's not
And they're
about working.
capitalists.
No, hold on. Capitalism does not reward you for working your ass off. It rewards you for supply and demand. That's it.
I agree.
There's going to be people that work harder than you that make 1/10 the money that you do.
No. But at some point, you did have to work your ass off. And then you realized, let me work smart, not work hard. And then you hire people to work for you and you duplicate yourself and you create a company and you say, let me get a fucking COO and a CFO and let me
Yeah,
hire
and
an
that's
HR
great
and let
for
me
the
hire a
people-
sales
that's
department.
great.
And it's that person who basically had to work his ass off.
Yeah, and
Elon
that's
Musk
great
of the
for the
world, Jeff
people that
Bezos
do
of the
that,
world,
but we need people that
give us
are-
the world that we have today.
I don't
In
think
America
you can-
today, I can have anything I want like that in the click of an Amazon fucking
And I
thumbnail.
agree with that,
Boom,
and I
done.
can too. But my teacher has to do fundraisers to buy fucking Kleenex for the kids in class. There's a
She only,
problem
has, she
there.
only has to work 8 months out of the year.
Oh my god. Yeah, assuming they don't do any summer
I would not
courses.
trust the government to educate my child and do healthcare right. I know because Israel we do have universal healthcare and it's shitty. It's really bad.
And in the United States, we have the same
Destiny,
type of healthcare.
you and
with
I
the
are going
sa-
to travel the world
Oh
this
my
summer.
God.
We're going to go
Yes.
around.
Where
We're
do you
going
want
to
to
do
go?
something together.
Okay, here's what I want. I want us to travel in
Yes.
Western Europe, and I want you to ask the question, do you wish you could live in America? And then I want to get the recording when every European fucking laughs at you. Everybody in any real European country, okay? I'm not
And then
saying
I'll go around
former
America and ask every
Yugoslavia, if I would-
American, do you want to go live in Western Europe? They're going to be like, fuck, I'll go for a week. And then I'm coming
That's
back
every
here.
Gen Zer's dream. Yeah, I want to go travel
Destiny,
to Paris.
here's the
I wanna go
final
travel to
word.
They're
London.
not
Here's the final
independent
word.
enough.
Go,
though.
do your final thing.
America. So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another. Or if you want to watch the entire SOSCAST, click right here.